watching my channel for a while now, then you probably know how much I love to use heatless curling methods, specifically pin curls. So in today's video, I'm going to show you how I reset my hair mid-week to maintain the style. This has been a kind of long asked for video theme. The only reason why I haven't done it thus far is, to me, it's essentially doing the same thing again. So doing the initial process, but on dry hair. The difference is it's much easier, it takes a lot less time, your hair is already somewhat curled, a little bit more pliable, and has a little bit of product in it, so it's going to be a lot easier to work those pin curls, reset the hair, and you can also use much larger sections. For the video, I'm going to be using my favorite pin curling tool, the Roll and Go hair tool. So before I show you the results, I'm going to show you how I did this process last night. Before we pin curl and chill, I want to go over a few products I'm going to use in the video. To remove oil and products, I'm using a boar bristle brush. To create my sections, a rat tail comb, some duckbill clips to hold the pin curls, or some hairpins or bobby pins. I like to use hairpins for the larger pin curls. Large duckbill clips are helpful to hold your hair back, or you can use a claw clip. And to set the hair, I'm using some setting lotion, the Lotta Body with water, and creating my pin curls with the Roll and Go hair tool. To reset the hair, I like to take a more relaxed approach. Instead of creating a lot of intricate sections, I just create the first section on the side, including the bangs and the section above the ear. The rest of the hair I'm going to tie up and secure with a claw clip. To this first large section, I apply a good comb through, and then I'm going to create 2 rows. Combing that first section of hair very thoroughly before creating my first pin curl section. As I mentioned before, these are going to be very large pin curls, so this shouldn't take very long. After combing through the hair, I apply a little spritz of my setting lotion, and I begin to roll onto the roller. I like to roll facing away from the face, and then I grab the hair and curl it under, keeping the pin curl tightly rolled before securing with a small duckbill clip. Now I'm going to repeat this process until this first section of hair is complete. For me, I'll be creating 3 pin curls for this first row, but depending on how much hair you have and how thick it is, you might need to do 4. When forming your pin curl sections, keep in mind that you don't want them to exceed the size of the rolling tool. Since my hair is rather fine, I can get away with a 2-inch section. But when my hair is wet and it's not a reset, I tend to make them smaller. Another tip for resetting your hair is when you're making your setting lotion, use more water and less of the setting product. Normally, I would use a ratio of 1:3 with my setting lotion, but when I'm resetting my hair, there's already product in it, so I like to have more water and less of the setting product. Usually, I will just add more water to my spray bottle from what was already in there to make it more diluted. After completing the first row, I'm going to start with a pin curl above the ear. I'm usually able to get away with 1 large pin curl here, but you might require 2. And for this large pin curl that's on the side of my head, I'm applying 2 hairpins in a crisscross formation. This way it will stay flat and more comfortable when I'm sleeping. We're going to repeat this process on the other side. For this side, I'm dividing the hair into 3 sections to create 3 large pin curls, 2 in the first row and 1 above the ear. For this side, I'm going to be using hairpins as well. The difference between a hairpin and a bobby pin is the amount of distance between the closures. A hairpin is wider, leaving more room for your hair. For a hair section that is smaller and might not hold as well with hairpins, you can use a small duckbill clip. Finally, I'm completing this side section with one large pin curl above the ear. For the remaining hair sections, I'm going to be adding on to the rows that we've already created. If you think about your head as a grid, currently there should be 2 rows on each side of the hair parting, one above the ear and one on either side of your hair part. First, I'm going to grab a large section behind that top row to create another large pin curl. As we work our way around the head, I know it can get a little bit more difficult. These are areas of your head that you're not able to see as well, so creating those first initial rows and completing them around the back is going to make it a lot easier. Next, I'm adding another pin curl to the row above my ear, followed by another large pin curl below the ear. And I'm completing this step on both sides, leaving the very back for last. When a section is too large, you can always remove a little bit of hair to make it more manageable. But I do think it's helpful to start with all of the areas on your head that you can see the best first. That way you have a better idea of what's left in the back and how to best continue your rows. This also leaves you with a minimum amount of hair in areas you can't see, and once you form the kind of body memory, it gets easier. For the very back, I'm going to turn so you can see a little bit better, but you're completing that row that's underneath the ear. To finish it off with a final spritz of setting lotion before adding a hairnet for sleeping. Unfortunately, I had a section of hair that did not want to stay in the pin curl, so I decided to secure it with one foam roller. These are those super soft baby hairs on my head that haven't been color treated, so they are a little bit less likely to behave. Check your results in the mirror before you go to bed that night to let it dry. And reward yourself if you can. So now it's the next day. I'm going to take out all the clips. And this is a very quick getting ready process for me in the morning. Whenever I go on vacation, this is how I tend to set and style my hair. I would usually set it the first night somewhere wet, and then throughout the trip, reset the pin curls and these larger curls. Last night, some of these clips became rather uncomfortable, so I did pull them out. Because my hair wasn't wet and it was in a hairnet, the curl stayed in the position. That's why I really like using these hairpins instead of these whenever I'm creating really large pin curls, because these will secure them better and they are less uncomfortable. But for stand-up pin curls, I do recommend using a clip. I didn't really use a pattern per se. I kind of just formed the curls in large sections all over my head, kind of replicating the direction that they were previously set in. Usually I do this on day 2 or 3. Preferably day 3, but sometimes my hair does not make it that far, depending on humidity, if it rains, my activity. I did add water to the setting lotion, so it wasn't as potent as normal when I'm first setting my hair. And I'm not adding any pomade. Sometimes these midweek resets, the hair has better results than the original, because my hair is so like baby soft and stubborn and hates curl. Sometimes it actually like looks better when I set it the next time. The important thing you want to remember when resetting your hair, especially if you're tired or late, getting kind of lazy at night, is not letting your curls be unsmooth when you put them around the roller. So if you don't brush out each section before applying to your pin curl or rolling the hair, then you're gonna have more tangles when you brush it out the next day. You can also reset your hair with rollers. I prefer Pincurls just because it's flatter and I think it's more comfortable for when you're sleeping and laying on your head. I don't always apply hair clips for extra shaping when I'm resetting my hair, but for today I'm going to show you where I would put them if I was. But if I was in a hurry, I would probably just spray my head with some hairspray and be out the door. Which is a great thing about resetting your hair, is the time and effort you'd be putting in the morning is displaced to the night before. With larger pin curls like the ones we used in this video, the results will yield a very soft and buoyant pageboy. For a wavier style, you would want to use smaller pin curls and your rows would alternate in direction. To secure the front of the hairstyle, I am applying a few duckbill clips before adding some hairspray. This will add a little bit of longevity to the front of the hairstyle. Usually I like to let the hair sit in these clips for a little while I finish my makeup, get dressed, or have a cup of coffee. For extra hold in this position, I am securing the hair, pulling it back with a bobby pin. So this is typically what yields as my end results. I hope you enjoyed watching this tutorial and that it made it a little bit more clear of what my hair prep process is throughout the week. This is not something I do every day. It's usually I set my hair once a week and I maybe set it halfway through the week again, and I don't always maintain this specific style. I wear my hair up a lot, so I will pull this back to like a French twist or a messy updo, or I will just let the style fall and wear it in that state. This is just something that I like to do, especially when I'm planning specific outfits, photos, or traveling and trying to make an occasion memorable. Once again, thank you for joining me, and I hope to see you in my next video.